What's going on, guys? What's going on? You see, I am. Let me make sure everything is good. Let me make sure everything is cool. How you guys doing? I hope the volume at least is better than last time. We're gonna check out. We're gonna see how well everything goes. We gonna see how everything goes. Well, first things first, I want to say I appreciate all you guys for watching the videos. Um, and all you guys who are engaging with the content. I appreciate you guys so much. Like waking up and seeing all that engagement and all that support on the channel, it really means something to me. I appreciate all you guys. Keep watching them. I know we don't usually get like crazy numbers and stuff like that, but I appreciate everything, honestly. Bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything. But yeah, I have new videos. I'm gonna try to keep it one stream each week, and then probably 2-3 videos on the weekdays. But we're gonna see. You feel me? Cause sometimes I'll be promising shit and not delivering. So we're gonna check that out. We're gonna see how that works. Did I just? Yeah, I fucked up. My bad. But yeah, we're gonna see how everything working out. But I appreciate all of you guys. Honestly, I appreciate all of you guys. So, yeah, basically, this is just a send off. You feel me? Because I know a lot of people dread the weekends. Well, towards Sunday. You feel me? Because people usually have to do a bunch of stuff on the week, and then usually people hate Mondays and shit. So this is just a send off. You relax, you chill, you come here, you talk your ish. Any questions you have, I'll answer them. If there's some new music you guys like, we can check that out. All that good stuff. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in, or even people who watch this later on. I appreciate you guys regardless. But yeah, today I watched a little bit of this. You feel me? I watched a little bit of this, and we not gonna go through the whole thing because that's kind of crazy. This an hour and 10 minutes is pretty crazy, and I just want to chill. You feel me? I don't want to keep you guys up too late. So basically, if you guys didn't know, there's so much backstory to this. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people understood and a lot of people know about this prior situation. But if you don't, let me give a quick run through, right? For some reason, a lot of people hate Andrew Schulz. I don't know how old a lot of the viewers are. I don't know, like, the whole situation on that. But if you can remember, there used to be, when MTV had good shows on and actually showed music, they had a show called Guys Code. Then they did like a girls version called Girls Code and all that shit. And it was like some of the most funniest ish you could ever watch. And like it was mad relatable, and me and my brother, we tuned into that all the time. And it was funny. They had comedians, they had actors, singers, all sharing just. It was in a time where, like, with entertainers and stuff, like, they kind of felt, like one of us. You know what I mean? Because nowadays it seems like a lot of these guys, they feel like they walk on water. A lot of these guys think they're more important than the program, and it's the egos is just crazy. But back then it kind of felt like, yo, these guys are just like us. They know exactly what we're going through and stuff like that. And it was a dope show. That's how I got introduced to Andrew Schulz. And the thing that I think I did make a video about this. a lot of people find everything funny. A lot of people find other things funny when comedians are talking about other people. But when a comedian talks about like a certain set of people, I don't know how to fully explain it. Like when a comedian talks about other people, it's okay. But when they talk about you, it's a problem. And I think that's where most of the hate came from with Andrew Schulz. I think just people hated when he started making fun, like throwing jokes on black people. And mind you, homie makes jokes about everybody. And in a perfect world, that's the that's the best thing for just race relations and just humanity itself. Everybody can make fun of something. You feel me? Everybody gets it. There's no group of people who don't get it. You feel me? And I don't know what's going on with people these days. People hate it when they're told the truth about them, whether it be a joke or whether it be someone actually saying, "Hey, I don't want to listen to people lying to me all the time. I want the God honest truth," you know. But that's the thing that happens. But basically, he made a joke about, I think, black women or something, with these guys from the UK, shits and giggles, and you know, Twitter and everything. They started calling him a racist. I won't lie though. I won't lie, right? The haircut, the hair. I know I shouldn't be talking about haircuts because you feel me, but the haircut on homie, it kind of give that like, you know, that racist vibe. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but his haircut don't help. You feel me? And then with the mustache and everything, it really don't help. But honestly, I think he's just a comedian. Like, you're supposed to make fun of everybody. If you don't, if you choose not to make fun of a certain group, you're actually you're actually not including that group with us. You feel me? It's like a them versus me. But instead, it could be you make fun of everybody and we're all in it together. We're all making fun of each other, but having fun with it. You feel me? It's like if you're at a table and one person is just constantly going at one other person and no one else. You're gonna start feeling like it's targeted. But if everybody equally gets the jokes, then you know it's more of a community thing. I don't know if I'm making sense, but we're just gonna watch the video. Alright.
Hello, hello, hello. Gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Not him. But
You're getting a Ryan Clark special right here.
yeah, it doesn't really help.
The official Ryan Clark special right here. No, it's not.
Yeah, so basically this guy, he went on a whole spiel about it not being okay of the jokes the dude was making, and he was kind of I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs out there, but he was basically making it seem like Andrew was a racist, that he only chose to go after black people. But you're gonna see in this video why it's kind of hypocritical and it's kind of weird just to have that stance. You can want to protect your own people and stuff like that, but when you kind of like super coddle, if you super coddle your people and like you yourself don't live by those actions, it just seems really weird. But we're gonna watch. You're gonna see.
Hold on, I came clean. I told you I was gonna come clean, and I come bearing gifts. I'm not the only one that gets to wear
The
the
fuck is this?
We got the CC.
I see that shit's quick.
Freddie
What is that?
You get none. You don't get any clips. You get all yours regularly. Thank you.
This is wild.
This is gonna be hard to button, guys. It took me a minute. I'm not gonna lie.
You cool? No.
Okay. More. It gets easier, bro. If you become.
You know what I just found out?
What's that?
They got the Paul Smiths on Amazon for $15. Regular price $30.
Oh, that sucks.
Those, what are those?
I don't know, bro.
No,
This was
God.
as I'm sitting down, a horrible idea. When I was walking, I was like, oh, I look really good, but it's so unbelievably uncomfortable. And the thigh parts are too tight. You know,
When the last time you wore that suit?
I was in Japan, and I feel like they made it for a Japanese guy. Because this, I mean, like...
See, that's what I'm talking about. Just making jokes about everybody.
I need to see the angles before. Okay, boys, let's go.
Well, look who's here.
Hold up, limited. Niggas in the cap pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way up finna get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only bitch you never trust. Trust. Limited. Niggas in the cap pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant.
Andrew Schulz,
How you
welcome to the
doing?
Pivot.
Thank you very much, guys. This is very exciting.
This is Fred Taylor. It's
I know
Channing
him very
Crowder.
well.
I'm RC,
I
Pivot
know.
fam. Thank you for pivoting. So me and you know, as people may not know,
Yeah.
you know,
He's getting excited
a little
because
bit over the last week.
Tell them how we've been, like, organizing the whole thing from the beginning.
Well, so initially, Charlotte, I don't know if Charlamagne told you, but he messaged me.
He told me that you told him you wanted me to make jokes about black women, and then I was like, all right, if Ryan wants to do it, I'll do it. And then it was crazy, and then this whole internet thing happened, and I was like,
yeah, you see, like just the, I don't know what, and then the slick back hair like that. It, you know, like when you're watching like those annoying like I don't mean to call them annoying, but they were like. See, I'm gonna reveal my age, but like back then when they used to wheel in those carts, with the TV on them, and then they will just put in the not the DVD, was it the DVD? Yeah, they'll just put in the DVD cartridge in, and then it's like an old timey movie that has all those ads in the beginning, and then the movie finally starts after like 15 minutes, and then like, you know, those like, remember the Titan, like those are that one racist guy in the movie, like, oh, I hate the blacks or something like that. He got that face, and the mustache, it don't help.
Ryan asked for this. You know, never trust a guy from South Carolina. I mean, that's what
Well, I'm from New Orleans. That's a good thing.
Well, Charlotte's from South Carolina.
Actually, I do appreciate, though, you know, like all jokes aside,
Yes.
I do appreciate the way, you know, you've conversed and communicated with me
Yeah.
about little things leading up to this.
Sure, and thank you for texting me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost wish that we could have like spoke immediately. I think that might have, you know, would maybe clear some things up.
Well, I think the first thing, you know, and I said it because we talked about it recently, because you said something, you know, to Shannon. And you
God
talked to Charlamagne.
is.
I was like, everything that you say about me is fair to me. Like, you have an opportunity to rebuttal, respond to anything, because when I spoke about you, it wasn't something that was addressed to me.
Right.
I involved myself.
Right.
I understand this game, these platforms, is that like, okay,
Yeah.
he's gonna respond, and he should.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. What was, you know, in your responding, because it's been a while, what made you finally say something? Were you just asked about it, or?
I forget exactly what happened on Shannon. I'm sure that the cognac had something to do with it. You get loose on that.
Oh, he blaming on the alcohol.
Jay and Sharp podcast. No, I don't know why exactly I responded there, because I didn't respond on any other thing, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe I said something since. I was looking back at the response. I thought that it was like unfair how I framed the thing. I texted you this, so it's like weird. to
I
have
kind of
this
look like a
conversation
floating
in
head.
person.
I ain't gonna hold you.
So I thought it was unfair that I was like, you said that I said the N-word or something like, or wanted to say the N-word. So which wasn't what you said. Like, I'm sure everybody's probably seen that clip that listens to the podcast right now. But I think it seemed as if you were trying to explain these things that are like troubling for you culturally. My initial reaction was obviously this thing like, why is he talking about this and like me right now? Like, what is the moment? And that's why I thought it was clout. And then when you text me, you're like, I have a lot of black women that are in my life that are going, hey, you need to address this, you need to understand this, and you need to protect us. And I was like, okay, I get that. It's like more of a protective instinct. And I was like, okay.
And you see, fully, I understand like when it comes to stuff that are like truly detrimental and stuff like that. But this was just jokes, man. This was just jokes, and it's so frustrating, especially when like it just keeps on happening. Like certain groups cannot take jokes, and I understand that you would feel sometimes targeted, but if you feel like that, that means you cannot talk about anybody any other sort of way. And if we're all being real, that's not happening. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Everybody is gonna joke about everybody. That's just how shit's been, okay? But you know, so a million people can preach the same thing, but if you're stuck on yourself and if you think super highly of yourself that you can't just calm down a little bit and just calm down and just listen. Oh, that's just a joke. He makes jokes for a living. It's not like a super targeted thing.
Understand where that's coming from, and like I think that's noble. Like I'm fine with that. And like people are allowed to react to whatever they want to jokes. I think that's like a misconception with comedians that like you have to like our jokes. Like I didn't even think the joke was that good. But it was, yeah, I didn't think it was that good. But it was a joke. And the intention was to make people laugh. And I think the issue I had with what you said was that, like, I felt it was framed as if, like, I was unaware of these things that you were saying. You were like, I want to tell you what, like, black women mean to me. And then you told, like, beautiful stories about, like, you know, your mother and what she did for you and, like, your wife and what she was doing for you when your health was bad. You know what I mean? And I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, like, you know, black women will do anything for their children. They'll do anything for their husband when they're sick. And I was like, I think my mom and wife are black.
I get the joke.
See, nah, you can tell there's some tension in there, but he's spitting. He's like, again, he just looked like a old school timey villain. But other than that, again, it's just jokes. It's just jokes, man. It's jokes. It's just jokes.
I guess what I'm trying to say is
Right,
like,
but the other piece of it too, Andrew, is that white women haven't been under attack in this country for their entire existence, right? And so it wasn't about the nobility of it for me, right? It was about that in this platform where I have a space, where I have a voice.
yeah,
This is something that has been said. This is something that is being circulated.
yeah.
And if the two black men that were sitting across from you would have addressed it a different way, even if they would have maybe laughed and it felt like a joke.
See, the problem with that is I don't think has homie looked at TikTok, because a lot of TikTok, like, there's two sides, right? It's the good hope core side, and then there's this other side where people complain about shit. And I'm somewhere in the middle as usual, but it's a lot of other people bashing other people. It's not about that. Me personally, I kind of think that the reason why he went at this is because people were chiming in to tell him like, yo, you gotta speak about this, and he's probably trying to keep his peace or something. But it's just it's crazy that we're in 2025 and we have to explain that we're joking. We make jokes, especially for someone whose job is a comedian. It's crazy. You know what it's like? It's like when people go to like you know what I'm talking about. It's like when people go to like comedian shows and stuff like that, and I don't get it because you actively bought the ticket. You know what I mean? You probably saw this dude on social media making jokes or something. You know who you're going out to see, and you still get offended and want to leave. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? It was an uncomfortable situation where what you said was neither refuted or agreed to, and it wasn't presented as a joke. And in the same space where I feel like if you're sitting on flagrant,
You don't think I presented it as a joke?
it didn't feel like a joke.
Everything on the. All right.
Right? Like anything you do in stand up, when you are doing stand up, like I watched your stand up, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like this is funny. And when you're talking about the Latina nurse and all those things, I was like, I get it, right? Because in jokes, whether we go back to Wanda or Shanae, right, we're going to do the extreme of the stereotype. Right? I get that.
That also shows me that he's never watched an episode of Flagrant. Flagrant, they make fun of everything. Do I find it funny all the time? No. But the problem is, it's not all about me. There'll be 100 jokes, and one of them will be about me. I'm not gonna go to this site or start bashing him entirely because of one out of the 100 jokes that he told could be targeted towards me. That, that's weird.
In that conversation, and all jokes, and you know this, like you've been punched in the face on stage before, right? All jokes are really as funny as the people who comprehend them and digest them.
I would debate that, obviously, but however somebody takes a joke, they're right. If you don't find something funny, you're right. You're allowed to react however you want to whatever I say. The tricky thing is when like we start trying to decide what the intention is. Because my intention is always like, when I'm making a joke, is to make people laugh, to bring joy to the world. And sometimes, as you see with my special, I'm making jokes about myself for an hour, about like really vulnerable dumb shit. And then sometimes I'm making jokes about a culture that I go visit. I go to Abu Dhabi and I make fun of all of them in an arena out there, and it's this big fun experience. And I've done that for like the last almost 20 years. I've built this audience, and if you come to one of my shows, it's by far the most diverse audience in all of comedy. And I mean that of any comedian. It's by far. So it's like, clearly, I'm talking about cultures in a way where they don't feel bullied, they feel seen. And I don't think that joke represented that when I said it on the pod. But my concern was, I think the way that you reacted, it was like that I was like ignorant. And you can call me a lot of things, you can call me insensitive, like call me not funny, call me whatever. But ignorant is one thing that I would disagree on. I think like I'm pretty aware, pretty curious guy. And like, I'm curious because I genuinely want to know about people. And I think that's often reflected in the comedy. That joke, it's like, for me, it is a joke. It's not like the intention is like, how can I put this information out about black women on the internet? It was like, I hate explaining jokes, but I'm literally just doing a typical joke formula, which is like, we have one idea of one thing, and then what's the opposite of it, right? And I understand there's like a sensitivity to these like stereotypes or tropes, and like the joke wasn't funny enough for like how much it hurt people. I get that, and they're entitled to however they want to feel about it. I just don't. I don't like it going into the territory of like, that's how he really feels, and he's just using it as like a smoke screen to say how he really feels. It's like, no, how I really feel is I just want us all to laugh.
What happened is like you're saying that like I spoke on a joke in a way that you don't think was fair, when if you listen to me, I used your joke to say something I wanted to say anyway.
Let me clarify. However you react is fair.
Right. But my point is, I didn't paint you as anything. I said, Andrew
Yes, you did, man.
said this.
Stop the cap.
Let me tell you about
Stop the cap, dog.
Like when I watch Life, right? When I'm sitting in my son's house watching Netflix, I'm saying, Andrew Schulz is telling this story.
When it comes to stuff like this, I know this, it has nothing to do with the topic, but when it comes to stuff like clothes like this, I always be wondering, like, let's say you see, the problem with me, when I have stuff like this, I just start picking at it and keep picking at it, and then eventually the whole thing looks crazy because all of it's gonna be unraveled and shit. I think it's cool, but I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. Maybe I'm just chatting.
Story about the journey of him and his wife to conceive their child.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful story. It's not my job now, right, to go, but let me tell you about how it is to have children with black women. That's not my job, right?
Sure,
because
sure.
you were doing a performing art, which you were giving to us for entertainment by being vulnerable, right? I understood that.
Yeah.
And so in what you did, it was like, okay, no, I'm not refuting what you said, because I don't know your experiences, right? I got away from Andrew Schulz and I got to black women. And I think my bigger problem is if you can, based on whatever reason you want to, right, say, hey man, I'm gonna give you my experience with my wife that I love.
Yeah.
What is wrong with me saying, I'm gonna give you my experience with black women who I love?
I feel like you keep saying that you think that I think you're wrong. You're right to say whatever you want to say. However you feel is fine. What I feel is that, like, you were positioning me in a way that I don't think is consistent with me. Like, I know that black mothers love their kids and they'll do anything for them, just like Chinese mothers do, just like Latin mothers do, right? Like, that's the relationship a mother has with their kid. You know, I mean, you're mixed, right? Mm-hmm. Your mom is white or your dad's?
Mom's white.
Your mom's white. Like, I bet she really loved you. I bet she didn't love you any less because she's white. Like, you're everything to her. She'd probably do anything. I know my mom stopped going to school. She's 14 years old. She, like, comes to America from Scotland and she, like, builds a life and she would do anything for us. Like, so I don't think that's like a thing that's idiosyncratic to black women. I think that's like a woman mom thing. It's really beautiful. So as you were explaining these things, it was like, to me, how I felt, how I interpreted it, it might not be what you intended, but like my interpretation was like, he's positioning me in a way as if I'm not aware of this thing and that people are capable of like immense beauty and care and concern and empathy. And it's like, if you feel like you have to explain that to me, you must think that I don't think that already.
Yeah, it looks like a villain. Like a French villain or something, bro. I don't know, man.
About black women or all women, or you think that like I think that way about white women and don't about black women.
Okay.
So that's why I'm
I
like,
won't lie.
whoa, like.
Yeah, I think what you're missing is.
Does that make sense?
And I want to say this in like the least combative way possible.
Sure.
You know, what you're missing is I don't care about you. Right? Like in
Probably
that
a little bit less combative way of saying that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
In that moment, Andrew Schulz was a nameless gray face.
Sure.
Right? It wasn't. I didn't want to attack you. I didn't want people to come to you and be like, well, Ryan Clark said you're a racist. Like, I would never say that, because me, who never actually says, hey, white people are this.
Yeah.
When I step up for black women the way I did, you know what I got? You're a racist. Right?
Yeah, people are saying that. Yeah,
right. And so,
which is unfair too.
And if I, 2020, George Floyd, I'm like, look, man, I get that there's a criminal system, but doing this to any man is not okay.
That's right. Yeah, you brought up the Alton Sterling thing,
right?
too.
But when you do that, right, from whether it's conservatives, Republicans, the right, white people in general, you're a racist. When I never, in any fact, ever say anything about my own color being superior to anybody, which is what racism stems from, right? And so I get what you're saying, that like I never painted you as anything, but as being somewhere, right? And I've dealt with this recently. When you are aware. Right? And when you do feel like you are compassionate and you do try to understand people, right? And they paint you as a certain thing, you feel that they paint you as a certain thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not that, and that bothers me. So.
Did you feel like I did that about you, or you did that about me?
No, I'm saying, because you keep saying I painted you some way, which I didn't.
Yeah, you
right?
did,
I didn't say much about you.
I didn't say. I thought that your juxtaposition, meaning the fact that you're like, let me explain what the black woman experience is for me, made me feel, it's just a feeling, like made me feel as if you thought that I didn't already know that.
Have you dated black women before?
Sure.
And in your dating black women, did black women beat you?
No, right.
You see, what kind of question is that?
The point here, like, do you think that's what I think of black women? Maybe we should start there.
No.
Okay, so then
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, well, that's different than no.
Right? I don't know, because I don't know you. What I do know is, in that moment, in this small clip I saw of Andrew Schulz, this is what he said. Now let me tell you what I didn't say, right? Yes. I didn't say Andrew Schulz thinks that all black women are angry. I didn't say Andrew Schulz thinks that black women are abusive. I didn't say that Andrew Schulz is a racist.
You didn't say racist, but well, I don't want to.
I never said that, right? And in my conversation, I spoke about the 2 men that were sitting with you, right? And here's what happens when you deal in the life that I deal in.
Yeah.
Right? When I say something about unarmed black people getting killed, what do I get? Well, what about black crime in Chicago?
It's a red herring.
Right. It's a red herring.
It's used to distract and like kind of cut the legs out from your point. It's got to be very frustrating. And you're taking.
But my point about that was, right, when these guys are sitting with you, and that is said.
Sorry, y'all. I
people,
am
not
trying to fix something
people
else.
May see that and may see them sitting there. They'll go, well, Andrew Schulz made this joke about black women, and there were 2 black men sitting across from him, and in no way did they refute it. This must be true. I can go behave like he behaves.
Got you. So that's the concern, that you think that somebody would see that joke and then feel like it's okay to do that.
Yes.
Got it. So you felt you need to address it to thwart that. So you could protect black women from experiencing that in the future.
Andrew too, man. It's like, as you know, we talked about it because I said, bro, I didn't even think it was gonna be this big. It's part of any healing process, right? You put peroxide on a wound to clean it out in hopes that it heals.
Yeah.
In the same way, whatever black women may have heard that, who may have been affected by it, who may have felt cut down, who may have wished that those 2 black men defended them, whether it was a joke or not, right? Whoever had that wound, just maybe they hear me, and for once they was like, man, at least that dude stood up for us.
And
at least somebody who had that experience stood up for it.
That must have felt good for some people.
I didn't care to paint you in any way, which is why I didn't continue talking about you.
It doesn't really matter what your intention was. It matters how you make someone feel. That's what the whole issue is with the joke. Like, if you said, I didn't care to do this, I don't care about you, none of that matters. It didn't matter that I didn't care to hurt black women, I just wanted to make a joke. It hurt them. So it doesn't matter whether you cared to do something or not. What matters is you did something and it had that effect. So ironically, the thing that you're describing to me is the same position you put yourself in. So what I'm trying to tell you is people are gonna react however they react, and they feel however they feel, and that's okay. Like, as a comedian, I accept that. I hope that people maybe learn more about me and they see that, like, I don't have bad intentions for people, and I make fun of everybody, because if I don't make fun of one group, then it becomes uncomfortable. Then it starts to become racist or sexist or whatever, you know? I hope that they learn that. But I understand as I get there, we're gonna have these little things that we stumble across, and like, unfortunately, people's feelings are gonna be hurt, and it sucks. And if like anybody came up to me like, hey, that thing that you said, you know, I didn't know you were joking, it didn't feel like you were joking, it really hurt my feelings, I'd be like, dude, I'm sorry, I don't wanna hurt your feelings again. But if then they said to me, hey, don't you ever make jokes about that again, I go, I can't let you control what I make jokes about. I can hope and aspire to make them so that everybody laughs. But I don't think it's fair to like limit what we can joke about. I think one thing we often say is like, you can only joke about the experiences you've had. But I don't know if that's true, because like we were laughing at Handyman when we were younger, right? He wasn't retarded. None of us are retarded, but we laugh at these things all the time. So you can't tell me White Chicks isn't a funny ass movie.
It's hilarious.
they're not white women. Why are they allowed to make that joke? Because it's funny. We know it's well-intentioned. They're not trying to like hurt people's feelings. There might be some white women, they're like Karens, and they watch that movie and be like, how the could you do that? That really hurt me. They're allowed to feel that way. We might disagree, but I'm not gonna remove their agency as comedians to be able to like do these things. So naturally, sometimes people's feelings get hurt. And that's based on the experience they had. You have daughters, you have this wife that you love. You know, we have these situations in our life that we like really want, we have sensitivities to certain things, you know what I mean? Like my dad has dementia. When I hear jokes about that, I probably think about my dad, and it's probably maybe a little less funny to me than somebody who doesn't have any connection to it. And there might be moments where it's like way funnier, you know? There's all these different things. So what I don't want to do is start going like, you have to have lived that exact experience in order to talk on it. Because I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's good for comedy.
Yeah, I don't think it's good for comedy. I mean, it's not good in life, right? Because I haven't actually lived the black woman experience, right?
That's a good point.
You know,
too.
and so I wasn't trying to tell you that in any way. I think the thing that's true about what you said is, you know, you talk about intent impact. I talk to my kids about it all the time. I do know in it, my intent was, I had no intention on protecting your ability to joke. I had no intention on making sure everyone knew it was a joke. I had no intention on telling people or showing people that I enjoy all comedy. I do think it's extremely fair for you to talk about black women. I do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how many jokes do we make about white women? Or how many jokes do, like, that is part of comedy.
And keep making them.
And it was the,
It's funny,
right,
it's great that we all do
raw and delirious. Those are all my
Amazing.
favorite.
Like-
Right, and so I do understand that just in this case, like you said, the intent and impact, it felt differently.
Yeah.
That was why I addressed it.
I don't believe you're racist.
Oh.
I found it offensive, right, because of the experiences.
Sure.
Maybe even if it was directed at another group of women.
Yeah.
I probably found it a little bit offensive. But again, it's a joke.
Sure.
But always, comedians, they ride on the line of, right on the borderline of, I can say this because I am a comedian.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I would hope it's like we could say it if it's funny. And then when it's not funny,
but because
it's kinda,
we
take
even
the blowback.
whether it's funny or not, like, I know a lot of comics who, like, they say, well, I'm a comedian, I can say what I want. You know what I mean? So my question is this.
Yeah.
If you weren't a comedian,
Yeah.
would you have felt comfortable saying the same thing, even with
That's a
your
good question.
experience?
No, that's
because
yeah,
I think
great question.
earlier today I heard Chelsea Handler speak about her experiences with white men.
Yeah.
She can't keep or get a white man because they feel she's too much like them. She's more of a man, you know, like more masculinity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what she said. She was like, I'm too tough for white men.
So what is she needs? What, a gay guy? Like what?
Nah, she ain't say that. But she says black men can handle her.
Question.
It's
like if you weren't a
borderline
comedian, would you?
and being able to say.
So I definitely think that like comedians take more creative liberties, you know, just like a filmmaker, and then spoke on that and
Punching down with the jokes more than
I don't
making
think anybody's
it
below
funny.
me. That's very important to understand. I don't think anybody's below me. I don't think anybody's above me. But I don't think anybody's below me.
Yeah, but I'm at the low hanging fruit thing, like
So-
a black people and watermelon joke, like.
Yeah. Feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that was kind of with that situation, which I thought people would see is like, I'm not doing that joke in front of like 2 white guys in a room. Like, I'm doing it, there's 2 black guys in the room as well. Like, I thought they would communicate like, hey, there's good faith here. No, there's no real animosity or like hatred or any of that kind of shit. But back to your saying, I think that there's like, sometimes there's like stereotypes that are like low-hanging fruit, but sometimes there's like really clever things that you could say that play off of those things. So like, Mexicans working hard, you could go, this is like a cultural attribute, right? I don't think anybody refutes that. And then I'm like, okay, how can I justify this in like some cool historical way? Not like a, oh yeah, they can sell all these things, or they can build this. I'm like, what can I do that like, not only taps into the Mexicans building the pyramids, but also like, it taps into people not thinking Jews can work hard. Because when they say the Jews built the pyramids, people are like, man, the aliens did it, man. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that like 7 fucking guys dressed like me are building a pyramid. You know what I mean? Like, but when they say Mexicans did, people are like, yeah, that adds up, right? So there's all this like, to me, I don't like getting into that shit, but like there's all this cool, like kind of little fun nuance, and it's playing into people's thoughts. Like, I'm not injecting the thought in you. You already think it. Does that make sense? It's like, it's already in there, so sometimes I don't even have to say it.
That's what a stereotype is.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
But not every joke has to do with like stereotypes. Like sometimes just like understanding culture is really fun for me. Like anytime I go to a different country or place to perform, and it could be like a state in America, I'm like trying to understand like, okay, what makes these people tick? What are they annoyed by? What are they really proud of? Like, what are they proud of, but it's actually kind of silly and they all know it's silly? You know what I mean? Like, this is not even jokes, but I would just remember like, even with Fred, like I just like the only reason people play with the Jaguars and Madden is because of you. Like there's no other like you know what I mean? There's no other reason. And it's twofold. It's like, we knew you obviously in New York, obviously prolific football player, but because of the Fabulous line.
Right.
Right? And so it's like, there's all these like little tiny things that are going on, and you're like, how do I sew these things together? Every new piece of information I have, I'm like working on it, like, okay, I'm hanging out with these guys. What am I dressed like? What do I look like? I don't actually look like Ryan, like I'm in the outfit Ryan would wear, but I look like a crooked agent. And I'm like, oh, didn't somebody steal from you? I look like fucking Tony Banks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
He came ready.
He came back
no,
around.
but, like,
ready.
This is how like my brain like starts to like pick up little pieces of information, and like that joke was, there's some pieces of information that got picked up and it just wasn't funny enough. But like that's how my brain goes. It's like, oh, how can I flip this? How can I use that angle?
So here would be my question.
Yeah.
If we're in the airport together, right? You can tell who everybody thinks we are by the way they speak to us.
Oh, tell me
Right?
that.
So
This
if
is
they
great.
meet Fred, like it's
Yeah.
whoever meets him, if it's an auntie, like an old black woman,
Yeah.
she all over him. Right? Like you gotta damn near stand in between it, because Fred's the sex symbol of the show. Right? He speaks in a low voice, he's mysterious, he don't say a lot. Right? So when they walk up on, every time you walk through the airport, every old black woman's like, you tell Fred I say hello.
No.
Every time. Am I lying, Fred? Am I lying? That's the real. And then so then Chan, everybody wants him to joke. Like they want him to joke, or they
Yeah.
want him to tell some story about being dressed in a furry outfit,
Yeah.
trying to get taken advantage of.
Oh yeah, your stories are crazy. From
Right.
the sex
Yeah.
part.
And
I
then-
mean, I remember that was going viral, and it was insane.
And y'all listen
Yeah.
to me, they want to debate sports.
Yes.
Right? They want
yes.
to debate sports when
Yeah.
they see me. And so my question for you would be, right, because
Yeah.
you're talking about how all these jokes play and the little pieces of it, what would be the point where the comedian shuts off and you're just Andrew Schulz?
You know, it's weird. It's like having a kid that starts to happen. Like I have I like think about people's kids. Like I was doing some research on the pod and I found out like one of your kids is in fashion design, right? And I was like, and immediately I was like, oh no, do they design his suits? Did I make, like I had this like, and I like, even now I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh my God, like the suits don't look bad. Like, and I thought about this kid watching the pod and like seeing me tease this thing that they worked really hard on. And then I thought about you as a dad. Maybe you don't even fucking like the suits, but you love your kids so much, you're like, I'm gonna wear these stupid suits with the pin, and you don't even want to wear this shit, but you got to. Like, it's when your wife buys you a necklace or something, you're like, all right, I'm wearing this dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, but like, so that's how my brain works. So I'm like, oh. So there are these moments where I feel bad. Like, obviously, when we did the roast of Tom, like, they said, like, hey, don't say anything about his kids. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying anything about your kid. My kind of rules are like, if your family didn't ask for this, or they're not in the public eye, then they're kind of off. Like, I'm not talking about somebody's wife who never wanted to be famous or never wanted to be part of this. Now, the Kardashians want to be famous, so now you're part of all this. But if you're like some innocent kid, like, so I'll turn it off there.
Not even like turn it off, Andrew, as like, okay, this may be off limits to joke about. If I'm watching you on anything, if I'm in a room with you anywhere, should I always expect that everything you say is a joke?
No, and that's a good point too. Because I think what a lot of people are realizing right now is like, there are comedians who aren't funny and they say things that are not funny that just come across as fucked up. And they might be able to use the I'm a comedian as protection for that. And then I see the public going, wait, what? You're not just allowed to say offensive, racist shit just because you're a comedian, right? And that's why I keep saying, like, people are allowed to react however they want to react. It doesn't give them carte blanche. Like, if somebody says a joke and it like really makes people feel bad, that you're not wrong. Like, you feel however you want to feel. But I would say, like, most of my conversations with people are pretty serious. I don't want to say serious, but like, I try to get to some truth. And then when you're at the truth or whatever that is, like once we're having a real conversation, then funny always comes out. Like you were dead serious when you were talking about low-hanging fruit. And then it ended up being funny. Yeah. Right? Like it was like you were like having a serious moment. And I feel like that's when I laugh the hardest. Not when it's just, hey, we're trying to just do these like flippant misdirections, but more like you're trying to get somewhere with me and it's so serious that we're both locked in, and then this funny thought either enters your brain or my brain, and then it happens.
Like you read the Wikipedia and all, we do research as well.
For sure.
Like mom and dad, business owners.
They dance lessons.
I really, own dance studio.
Mom was a champ though.
Yeah,
three times.
Mom,
3-time champ.
3-time U.S. ballroom dance champion.
Yeah, we had a little problem with the audio. Let's see.
But like the funny, like Archie just said, like I'm the guy that people, bro, it'll be 6 a.m. and people walk around the corner and see me and they start smiling because they, what are you gonna say? And we've talked about on the show where,
what do they walk up to you and what
they want me to tell a joke.
Like Waka Flocka, tell us about
something. but bro, I think comedians are.
I actually never thought about that. But
like Waka
pretty
Flocka.
spot on right now.
Yeah.
I laid my head down right now. I thought about it when he said, I laid my head down. Gave him some goddamn material. But I think the funny guys, it was created. I don't think it's like nurture nature.
Yeah.
What in your life made you want to enlighten rooms like that? Because looking at the path, it seems, you lived the great all-American life. But I think I was created by parents getting divorced, you know what I'm saying, living by myself, single mother. She's upset, my sister's arguments and all, and now I need to go make people laugh because around me is chaos.
Yeah, I think that's a really astute observation just about yourself. Like, you developed a skill to kind of deal with existing trauma. And it's probably like a lot of comedians, so like how are you coping with this thing? You know, you've got a lot going on. Like, you know, you ever meet like somebody kind of like the fat people are kind of funny. And it's like, they gotta be. Or else they're this fat, just sitting in a room. Like,
I don't lie. Yeah, you know true.
So they need to
well, it shows more in person, man. It shows more in person. You ain't lying.
They're gonna be like, Andrew Schulz gets the last laugh. The pivot no longer on YouTube.
Hey, where's my camera? Hey, fat people, chase me.
Like, it's over. It's a wrap.
Oh man.
But yeah, like all the stuff you're going through. Like I even imagine like the racial dynamic, like trying to figure out like, are you black enough around your black friends? Are you only black to your white friends? Are you white to your black friends? Like, there's a lot of different circumstances you got to emotionally manage at a young age, and the quickest way to manage a lot of those things is just making people laugh. Like it just kind of desensitizes everything.
But the first thing,
Yeah.
I tell a joke about that. I say, treat me like a white man. Because I'm 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm half black, half white.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when I walk in a room, treat me like a 6'3" white man with dreads and tattoos. And I joke about it, like, why do you look at me like a black man?
Yeah,
but
what is that tree? Like, how would we treat a 6'3" white guy with dreads and tattoos?
I say that, like, and so I do jokingly walk that line.
Yeah.
But what's your trauma? Why did you have to make people laugh?
That's an interesting one. I think there's multiple components, and I don't always think it's trauma. I think a lot of times with comedians, like, that can be helpful, but I know a lot of people who dealt with trauma and they're not funny. They're just, like, sad. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that growing up in New York City, I think that it was the easiest way to connect with people. And we didn't really have a community that was built around, like, religion. We didn't really have a community that was built around, like, one culture. It was just, New York was our identity, really. And it was all these kids, and this is how we connected with one another, is we kind of made fun of each other. That was it. And, like, my crew felt immense comfort. The only thing that I would say is similar is, like, the relationship that buddies of mine who are in the military have with their like, brothers in the military, where it's just, like, anything goes. Because once I know that you'll die for me, I can't think that you have any malice towards me. You know what I mean? So that you build up such a level of trust. And that's kind of how we grew up. And I know that's weird for a lot of people. Like, I think a lot of times we take that for granted in New York. We're like, oh yeah, everybody grew up like us. Like everybody, like my high school is half Asian. Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine that? Like,
definitely
no,
weren't
right?
the smartest person in the city.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I know.
See, got him. See, if I had a soundboard, I would have gotten that, that suspension button, that, that noise. Maybe I'm chatting, fuck it. But an Asian person could make a whole soliloquy about how racist that was. You see, it never ends if you keep on doing that. It never ends.
This is supposed to be a public school. How is it, bro? The crazy thing, it was half the kids got in off of grades, and the other half got in off of like random because it's a public school, and that shit was 50% Asian, and we know who got in off the grades. Yeah. Like it was unbelievable.
I do have a question for you,
Yeah.
right? You told us your sperm doesn't really work well.
Yeah, it doesn't swim. It's shaped weird.
Yeah.
You guys all have vasectomies. I was watching a clip about
But
that.
Chan also has his mama's dick.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I had a...
Craziest
Bro,
thing.
I used to tell a joke about, because my dad has this huge dick, and I was like waiting to grow into it. Yeah, dude, we got our mom's dick.
Nah, what the fuck is that?
My dad's a 6'4" black dude. And when I saw this baby leg fall out one time, I was like,
Yeah, you're waiting for it.
what the hell? I thought it was gonna, and I'm 21, 22, and like, I'm never gonna, when is this gonna grow?
I used to hold my breath, try to push it out.
Damn near shit myself trying to get 2 centimeters. You say your sperm does, it
It
yo.
doesn't really swim that
Hey,
well.
ho.
It's like shaped weird. Like it's all it's bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was sitting in there and they told his wife, you are perfectly fine. Yeah. He was like, well, damn, what's the issue then?
Yeah. He was like, I couldn't believe, because we all like, I imagine you coming up, you can't ever think that there's something wrong with your sperm. You know what I mean? Like, you guys all got kids.
Yeah.
Easy. Right?
Very
easy. Like,
Not on purpose.
Too easy. Not on purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm growing up with these stories of like athletes having kids, and in my mind, everybody who's not an athlete thinks they're an athlete, right? You guys are aware of this.
100%.
Right? Okay. And like when you guys play pickup against us or some shit, like we then learn the difference You know, but before that, we're sizing you guys up and we're like, man, I'm crossing this girl over. We are, like, in our brains, like, you guys look regular, you know? And then we're on the court and it's a different thing and it sucks, whatever. But, so yes, I'm like, I'm gonna get every girl pregnant. I was like stressed like for decades. Like I'm hooking up with girls. I'm like, we're getting Plan Bs. Like I was telling Shannon this shit. I was like, remember the last scene of Fresh Prince when he's just in the living room, but there's no furniture or nothing? That's what a Plan B looking like in every girl that I've hooked up with.
There ain't no sperm there.
You see, the ability to make fun of yourself is so underrated, man. Because some people, they'll take that and they'll brood over it and like they will beat themselves over with it constantly 24/7. But to be able to laugh about that part of yourself, man, that's so free. You feel me? That's so free. That's the type of shit I'm gonna be on soon, man. Cause I'll be getting in little pockets of, oh man, woe is me. And then I find if I do something, or even if I know a lot of people won't say it, but even if I pray about it or something like that, like everything turns out good, and then later on I start laughing out of nowhere about like, yo, I was really tripping about this shit, man. I was really tripping over this shit. Like that shit don't even matter now. And I just laughed because I was like, I was racking my brains over this. I was like nervous. I was sweating over this. But it's just it's so freeing. It's so freeing that you just start laughing at that shit. Because you're like, man, I'm stressed over nothing. Nothing really even important. Just stressing. But that's super free, man.
So yeah, it was like, bro, it's at first it hurts, man. Like at first I started wondering if like my wife would stop being attracted to me on like some primal shit. So you have that like initial feeling, and I think I was like probably like sensitive and like defensive about shit, like, cause I don't know how, like I'm just watching nature documentaries, and like once like the alpha chimpanzee no longer could fight, like the girls kind of are like, all right, whatever, I don't gotta fuck him anymore. So I'm like, what's going on? Do I have to go to the gym? Like, you know, then you kind of get through that shit. And then, you know, we spoke to the doctor. At first, I just wanted to beat it. And I was like, I could get you pregnant. Don't listen to what they think. I'm gonna get one in there. And like, I mean, this is like a lot, but like we would do it, and then I would hold her legs up. So it's like they might not be swimming, but yeah, you just get to the. It's just like, you know, like before you put sugar in your coffee, you're like, you don't need to swim. We just need one, okay? There's a billion of these useless motherfuckers in my home, and we just need one, okay? And so we do that, and then what you realize very quickly is like your ego.
Oh
really
God, man.
And as much as I wanted to get her pregnant for my own ego, every month that she wasn't.
Oh man.
And then the doctor essentially was like, listen, if you guys can afford it, and if, you know, sometimes it's a lot easier in a relationship. He's like, you guys can keep trying. And it's normal for people to not have success immediately. For us regular folks, not you guys. Submachine guns inside all of you. It's unbelievable. So the fact that all you guys individually had a point in your life where like, I gotta get these cut off, bro. I'm a weapon out here. Like, I'm dangerous, bro. I don't know what I might do. Like, the fact that you guys had to think that is so foreign for me. I still look at it and I'm like, come on, guys. Like,
That's how it feels to run 99 yards and fumble at the one. You see the guys when they run through the end zone and they drop the ball like this? I gotta keep going. But no, on some real shit though, Andrew, because you got a psychology background.
Yeah.
Was it psychology when you said RC was clout chasing? Was it like a reverse psychology?
No, you know what?
Bruh, how you we were just having fun, and this OD serious like that, brother.
It was my genuine reaction, which I think is like, kind of like is informed by some insecurity. Like, I'm sure you guys are going through this now. You guys are this big show, and like people can eat off of you.
Correct.
So like people can do little reaction videos, and they have all these hot takes. It's like, it's so funny. It's like everything. There's a sports center for a sports center for a sports center. It's like we're reacting to shit. There's people reacting to us reacting to shit. There's people reacting to them reacting to us reacting. It's like, it just is a never-ending thing. So I think
That's what's going on right now, dog.
And also, I didn't know how you guys put out content. So when it first came out, like, I looked for the full episode because I don't like to react to just a clip of something. I'm like, all right, well, maybe there's more context. And there was no full episode. So I was like, did they just all meet up to say I'm racist? What the fuck?
That was good comedic timing. That was good comedic timing.
That's a reverse lynching.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
See? That's a dark joke, but that's a good joke. That is good.
So I'm like, holy shit. And that was my knee-jerk reaction. And then when we were texting, you explained like that you had like a lot of people hit you up. Yeah. And I'm sure these people, maybe, actually I'm not sure, like maybe some of them familiar with me, maybe they weren't. And they were just like, hey, you have a platform, you're an important person in our world, and it would be great if you defended us about this. And it's hard to look at those people that you care about and be like, nah, Giants are playing, or we got to interview this person. So
I think it's like the same way you do everything, though. It wasn't like nobody asked me to defend. They just said, hey, what's your reaction to this?
Oh, okay.
You know, and it brought me back to your point, though. You said there's like the initial reaction or the initial topic or segment, someone reacting to that. And so how have you adjusted to that, though? Because you have the mindset of, okay, people are entitled to their feelings. Yeah. Right? And
I won't lie. If y'all look at Twitter or like TikTok or some shit, the amount of meat riding and just overall like no reason for hate that the people, like, this might be TMI, but like if you go through like a really, really bad breakup or something, and like you start hearing rumors or your partner be like, oh yeah, he ugly, or oh yeah, he got a small dick, oh yeah, he got this, and man, that nigga ass, he's so ass, like, but in the end you're like, yo, you still chose this. I feel like that's what people started doing to Andrew Schulz. Any like bit like he would put out, everyone would be like, man, this is not funny, get this racist out of here. I'm like, brother, why are people so quick to attach something? Like, I don't get it. And for a fact these people are miserable, bro. For a fact, like, I couldn't, like, I've had like some acquaintances who act like that, and like me, normally if I'm hanging out with you and I'm cool with you, I'm going to make jokes. Like, that's my thing. I'll make jokes, and it could be a joke about myself, or just a joke about a stereotype or something, never out of malice, but just a joke. And then we'll be cool, and then like a couple days later they hit me with a long ass text talking about, oh, this shit just reminded me. Okay, so this comes from like a crazy chapter in my life, right? So I was just going crazy on the apps, right? And I matched with one of these chicks, and she had all these cool things about her culture and stuff like this, and she was pretty interesting. But I think I misspelled something, or I didn't add a period or something, and she started kind of tripping a little bit. And I wasn't smart enough, or I wasn't like more mature enough to be like, you know what, this is a sign that things won't end well. This is a sign that I probably shouldn't keep this any further. Until ultimately she starts sending me like every single, like, anything that I would like on Twitter or anything I like on Instagram or whatever, she'll send a screenshot to me about it. and a whole paragraph for each screenshot about how this joke wasn't funny, or this joke was racist, or this joke was that and that. And it would be the most like, it was so, I would wake up at like probably 1 to like a paragraph of one of the texts that she sent me was about how buttons were sexist, like, and I was like, what? Like, I'm waking up 2 in the morning to you ranting to me about how buttons are like, I was so disappointed. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I was so disappointed in myself that I stayed in that situation for so long, bro. And it's just crazy stuff like that. You can't please some of these people. Some of these people, their whole entire personality, their whole entire being is just to hate. Just to hate, or find a reason to just start lashing out at somebody because whatever their reality is so like grim and ass that they have no other choice in their minds but to hate. Like, if you can't find anything this dude said, not this dude, but Andrew said in this whole interview funny, you might, a little part of you might be like her. Like, just miserable, man. Stop it. Get that hate out your heart. But if you're gonna be a hater, have something actually to hate on. You know what I mean? Have something substantial to hate on. Don't just hate because someone made a joke that you might not have found funny one time, and then the rest of the jokes you were okay with targeting other people, but when it comes to you, you feel some type of way. Come on. And then and the thing is, people like that constantly stalk their so-called hater, like the person that they're hating right there. They constantly stalk that person. So it's not like it magically came across your feed and you just made a comment. You actively go to hashtag Andrew Schulz or whatever, and then you hate. That's too much work, bro. That's elite level meat writing. I don't know. That's crazy. That can never be me.
To where you're famous, right? And people are going to react to what you say. Yeah. And I'm sure, I'm positive, I know for a fact, I wasn't the only person that reacted.
Of course not. Of course, right? You guys just have like a really big platform, right. And your platform is, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know, but it's influential, and like I think people watch it, and any kind of, I think you can like start, I don't want to say start, but like you definitely have influence for sure, and like your opinions matter.
So how do you deal with people reacting to your jokes or to the things you say harshly? Do you feel like do you feel like you always have to respond to those things?
No. I almost never respond. I probably should address certain things more, because sometimes people can, like, I'm not saying you guys do this, but like I'm sure you guys experience, like, people just make shit up. Like, they'll just say, like, I can't imagine what they're doing with you guys about, they're like, oh, but this person doesn't like this, all this other nonsense, and you guys are in the group chat just going, where do these people get this shit? And then it's like, well, it makes money. They make videos and then they get paid off the videos. That's what it is. So usually I don't, like, maybe I should address trends better. Like, Charlemagne is the best at it. Like, Charlemagne is just like, he can like address something without even acknowledging the person that he's addressing. So they get no clout. They get no response. But the trend, the thing that's out there in the world, gets the response from him. But he's also just the best to ever do it at talking into a microphone. So, like, that's like, I think, the most sophisticated way of like going about it. I gotta probably get better at that. But like, my initial reaction is,
damn, I watched so
I'll tell you what,
see, that's a sign of a good interview or just good like show. I said I was gonna stop this shit at like half an hour. We're almost at the hour mark, bruv. It's pretty good. I might just watch the whole thing.
Reaction is, which I think is kind of unfair, but my initial reaction was when I saw you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, he wants to protect black women, and this is very important. And then I looked on every one of the episodes that you had to see if there was any guys on here that beat up black women. Mm-hmm. And there were. And I looked to see if you guys addressed it on the pod. And you didn't. Okay?
I know you stop, but yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. When you start trying to overly police or try to be, what's the word? When you try to be like, hey, I'm gonna be the person that like speaks up for this in front of this person, it kind of just seems like you're jucking and shiving. You're just choosing whenever you want to whenever you want to play advocate or whatever. You feel me? And that's see that lonely, that sad look in this man's eye. He can tell that he just got because when you performative, when you start being performative and just what if someone gets mad at that joke that you said previously before, and then they start hating on you? You gonna start feeling how you guys made the other dude feel. It's weird. It's weird. And this is not just like a bash on just people trying to speak up about certain issues. This is not a bash. It's just the way you do it. You feel me? It's just the way you do it.
Now, I also saw you guys had the episode with DeAndre's mom talking about domestic violence. So I was like, okay, this is good and this is powerful, this is important. But my knee-jerk reaction was, man, I get a whole section that's not even part of an episode, and these guys who we know have actually, like, for like a joke, and these guys who have actually like hurt black women and convicted, not allegations, because I don't go off of allegations, I go off of conviction. Everybody can get an allegation, it means nothing. And then these guys, they don't get anything. So in that moment, I was like, this feels like a clout play. It doesn't feel like the highest priority is protecting these women. So that was my initial reaction.
So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
We have had people on this show that have been convicted for domestic violence that have pulled it out of the show.
That pulled it out of
that I have asked about it.
Oh, and then they're like, I don't want it on the show.
Yeah, and I do, because people come on our show voluntarily.
Of course.
I do ask those questions in respectful ways. Right, I'm not, hey man, you're a woman beater, but I will say, like, in one of the instances that was pulled, I said, look, you were convicted of something that no man wants attached to his name.
Amen.
And they answered it. We talked to their people. I was like, man, the answer was good, like, and they pulled it out of the show. So we've had that happen. We also had an instance with one of our guests who was talking about sexual assault, and he talked about it in a way that almost said that, okay, how do we blame the women? And I addressed that as well.
Yeah.
So as far as for me, I try to address it in every opportunity that I get a chance to with them. Yeah. I try to ask them questions in ways that they get to tell their side of the story.
Yeah.
When they sit with us, I do not bash them over the head with it, condemn them, or judge them in the moment.
Yeah.
I do try to have a conversation about it.
We're all like hypocrites. Like, nobody's perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had people on the like, I've had a president on the podcast. Like nobody's killed more people than a president. You know what I mean? Like, anybody who sat down, if you sat down with Obama, hundreds of thousands of people are dead because of decisions that he thought were in the best interests of America, right? Same thing if you sat down with Clinton, you sat down with anybody, right? Like, I did a buddy of mine's podcast, and he brought up the fact that I had Alex Jones on my podcast. He did one of the most heinous things in history, where he said that those kids were faking it at that school shooting. Remember that? Like, that's a heinous, San Diego. I mean, disgusting, heinous. I had a buddy of mine, I went on his podcast, and he was like, yeah, I can't believe you did that. That was like so fucked up, like what he did to those kids. And I was like, you visited the Pope. You know what I mean? Like, they were protecting people f***ing kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you had the opportunity to go meet them, and you're like,
now they're not gonna, because
they were literally protecting priests that were having sex with children.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, so we can always find the moral equivalency or the moral high ground, which was a thing that I did with you guys, but I hesitated to like go out and talk about that publicly. This is why I did, is because the point of that is not to protect those women or to protect the children. The point of that is to make you feel bad or me feel good. And now we're using victims as a tool. I don't want to do that. So it might make me feel good in the moment for me to go out and like go and talk on the pod and yada yada yada. But it's like I don't want to use them as like a tool for this thing to feel good.
I think the other piece of it is
so I made fun of your outfit.
Yeah, and that was I liked it because I was glad I was in the group chat.
Yeah, I just didn't want to like. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it would have been like a justified thing, but also maybe it's like a conversation I could have just had with you on the side, you know, and understood perspective and understood the thought. Like knowing right now that you know you did ask them about that, but you respected their wishes to have it cut. Like I get that. We had Mr. Beast on for another time, and I asked him about all these things that there was a lot of controversy going on, and we did the pod, and afterwards he's like, "Dude, can you cut all that shit?" And I was like, I can't put out the episode then, man. Like, just because I feel like it would, I feel like I'm doing this like fluff piece when like
We've done that.
yeah. So it's like we all are gonna figure out what those things are. So I don't begrudge anybody for doing that. I don't begrudge you, but I think in that moment I just wanted. That like I just wanted revenge, or I just wanted to be like, you're making me look dumb. Well, here, let me make you look dumb, right. Which I think is like the most childish version of this shit. So I tried not to do that.
No, I respect that, and I think you know we go through it when the video came out with Diddy, right, and Cassie.
Oh God.
Right, I thought like I didn't care what color he was. Like I thought it was a bitch move.
Yeah.
Right, and I was very vocal about that. And then from my community, obviously I get, well, you just a black man that wants to tear another black man down.
Oof.
Right? But my thing was, no matter what color the man is, you don't put your hand on a woman.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? And so there's all of these things that I think right now as we have this platform, Andrew, too, that happen in the moment. Right? They're, you know, the same way you say Charlemagne addresses the trends the best. Right, as you know, in our
I got some heat like cooking up for Charlemagne too, man. I got some heat for him.
Right?
Damn, that just reminded me. You see, the thing with me, right? This is off topic, but there's so many things that happen that I have like a view or opinion on, but for some reason I just don't put it out. Like the new video, check it out, Kenji XO on YouTube. Check it out. Last video that I put out, I deleted the whole project and then re-edited it. Jesus Christ. Sometimes it seems like English is not my first language. But yeah. I deleted it and then re-edited it so many times because I was just like, I don't like this, I don't like that. But man, thankfully, I was just like, you know what, I already worked on it hella times, let me just put it out. And now it's doing better than most of my other videos on my channel. And it just goes to show, man, that shit's crazy. But yeah, I was gonna make a video about that whole Jess Hilarious situation. But I'm pretty sure everyone knows about that situation. I got some smoke for Charlemagne and that whole organization. But that might be a video. But you guys, let me know if you guys will fuck with a video like that. Let me know. I might just put it out anyway, but fuck it.
Back and grab something from 20 years ago unless the video comes out. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like that's kind of the piece of it too. When you sit with people, it's okay, how does the way I interview this person or deciding to interview them or not injure the people or further traumatize the people they have already injured.
Sure.
And you know, and so it's definitely dealing with those things, and even you bringing it up, like it's something like I battled with when
I can imagine.
when they asked to take it out the show. You know, I was in the place of like, man, F the show, like. Yeah. You know, so I get it, what you're saying.
You know, obviously you guys aren't new to this. You've been doing this a while, but like as you find success, there's certain things you do that are successful, they'll hit. And there's certain things that like you really love doing on the pod. There's this thing that you guys really love doing, but maybe it didn't hit as much. How do you battle between the thing that is working and the thing that is like authentically pure to you guys?
It's out of our control, just knowing that. We just did a beautiful show with Jelly Roll.
Jelly's the
like,
man.
it was an amazing show.
Yeah.
You know, after a day, 70, 80,000 views.
Yeah.
But the content was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to touch a ton of people, but it's out of our control. And we felt that it was an amazing show. Whereas you do a show with someone else and the depth of it might not be what we think, but then it floats around everywhere. So
I think
just knowing that what we control and what we don't control.
I think there are a lot of people that are victims of the algorithm. Meaning, like, the algorithm is telling them what to create, and they don't even realize it. And I think that, like, putting out good work that is authentic to you is knowing that sometimes it's going to go crazy, and sometimes it's not. But
Yeah,
it is the
see
thing
that's just crazy. I was just telling you guys about that. But yeah, everything on my channel is what I want to talk about. Anyone's open to bringing up topics, and I'll talk about it, or just observations that I see. But yeah, I feel I'm 100%. I'd start implementing that.
want to do. And I think there's longevity in that. And I think chasing the algorithm is short-term gains, in my personal opinion. And you lose your authenticity, right? It's like,
There was also too, like, I'll be honest, you know, you mentioned it, like, we wanted you on the show before,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And in coming up to like this show,
Yeah.
right, and sitting with you, I had the conversation with myself, like, okay, like, I have his number now,
Yeah.
right? What does sitting with Andrew look like from the outside,
Yeah.
right? In the sense of, on my side, is it okay what people thought I was against, or
Yeah.
people feel I stood up against? Now am I saying it's okay? And I think the biggest thing I like to talk about and do is, if I don't have a conversation with people to truly know where they stand, I never learn.
Dude, I think that good faith conversations are what media is missing right now. I think there's a lot of, like, dunk content, you know, like you're debating on some news show, and the two people are just on different sides of the political aisle or whatever it is, and they don't actually care about each other. They're just trying to prove their point. And I mean, that's why I wanted to come on. I was just like, obviously we were texting, and it was like nice to text, but I also just wanted to, like, hear your guys' thoughts and, like, understand the perspective, and that informs my decisions. If you asked me 5 years ago or 8 years ago, like, what do you think about people get offended by jokes? I'd be like, oh, pussies, why do they get, oh, it's just a joke. Da, da, da. Like, my feelings about it have matured and, like, become more fully formed, and I think I'm better at comedy because of that. Like, I think I'm better at communicating because of that. So anybody that I think that, like, has respect for me, if they disagree, like, I want to talk to you. Not anybody, shit. You got to be, like, one of the biggest shows, like, obviously. You know what I mean? But, like, you know what I mean? But like, and if I respect them too, like, I want to have that conversation, and I'm gonna say things that I'm gonna probably look back and be like, ah, that wasn't a really good answer to that question, and these things. But I'll learn. I'm not afraid to, like, learn and go, okay, no, that's a good point. Maybe I could have seen it from that angle a little bit more. But I hope I learn, and I know I'll never learn if I stay in, like, a little protective bubble. And never have combos with people. And it's important to go to your show. Like, having you guys on my show which I would still love to do, but it's still like a home game. Like, I think you're more vulnerable in a place where you're in someone else's environment. Absolutely. You guys are dictating the interview, and, like, I have to react in real time. Right. And you get to find out, like, what is my honest reaction, not what I planned for the show.
Like, what's the future of Andrew Schulz? Like, because you know comedians. Yeah. They do tours, they do shows,
yeah.
They get into TV,
yeah.
The Martins, the Eddie Murphys, the all. Like, what are you doing moving forward? What do we expect out of you moving forward?
I finished the tour, and then
I think that's it for that. I think that's it. Your boy is tired. I ain't gonna hold you. But I did promise in the title that we're doing just chilling and gaming, so if anything, I want to be a man of my word. Oh, man. Want to be a man of my word. Nah, yeah, I think I have, 2 videos coming out soon. 2 videos. And y'all keep running up them videos. It just means a whole lot when people start fucking with what you like. You start seeing all the hard work that you put into stuff. Oh, my voice is changing. all that hard work that I put into stuff, it's really showing. I respect it. Yeah. Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, let's see. That's the only thing I play. 0 builds, man. Hopefully it don't lag like last time. But if it do, it's alright. We'll play a little bit of this, maybe 2 rounds, and then some rounds of Marvel Rivals. I think I updated it, I'm not sure. We shall see. Where's that? Yeah. Alright, cool. I wonder, when people play like on stream and shit, cause I got 2 monitors, did they focus on this one or this one? Oh yeah, I don't know. It's looking a little glitchy. Thought so. Let's see. Let's go as Dr. Doom. How do you guys feel about that whole Doom situation? Was it Doomsday Avengers? I really don't. It's gonna sound bad. I kinda gave up on Marvel, man. And even with modern movies, I don't think they listen to fans like that, or I don't think they know what they want. I don't think they have any like real direction. They're just throwing everything at the kitchen, throwing everything at the kitchen sink, which sucks. Wait, okay, I was about to say. Let's see what we can do. Let's get jiggy, yes? Oh no. The lag is crazy. The lag is crazy. The lag is crazy. Nothing's worse when you get fucked up. Yeah, the lag is disgusting. So should I... Wait. Cool. That's what I'm talking about. You might have to destroy. I don't know how to use any of that shit. I am a hard sniper. Brother. I'm trying to live. Okay, cool. Alright. Cool. I'm trying to live, Bobby. I'm trying to live. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, but people don't, well, I don't care, but people usually watch these later. I guess I just be streaming at the wrong times, but it's okay. It's all good. I already said I am not buying, like, I have this store nearby that sells a lot of used games and stuff, and every time I go in there I buy some new shit. So I haven't been in a while, but I'm expecting to see Assassin's Creed Shadows in there. But my thing is, I want to play the games in order because that's the type of person I am. I don't start from anywhere. I want to start in order. And I hate when people watch stuff out of order, or they're trying to watch something with me out of order. Cause they always start asking hella questions when we could have just watched the first movie. Almost half of everyone's been gone, gutted. I hate going into big cities because you never know. I think I got bit by a mosquito or something. Shit's kicking my ass. Okay, cool. Got decent weapons. That's what I like. Did anyone come in here? See, I don't know why that this doesn't happen on my own. Some of the cars coming. Oh, I'm just shooting out the wazoo. Who is said person? Oh. So. I don't even know where I'm going. What's this? What's this place? Oh, someone's fighting. I wonder what it is. I wonder who it is. This is trippy. Oh. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry, man. Is this a mosquito, man? Oh. I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do, right? Cause your boy is, I'm getting kind of tired. You feel me? Gonna quit on that. We'll try Marvel Rivals. All right. Okay. Oh. Yes. We'll download this bad boy and see what's shaking. This might be my last game of the night, man. Might be my last thing. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. I appreciate you. Read it. Oh. Okay. Let's see. You thought I was gonna watch that whole thing? Man, fuck out of here. Oro. Hey, yo, I didn't ask for all this. Let's play a quick match. Or I got y'all with just one more before I go to, you know. I hope all you guys had a good Sunday, a good weekend. Let's see what we doing. How we feeling? Oh, they already took my characters. I guess I could use a new one.
I will bring peace to this universe.
I don't really play healer. Let me try it.
I am no golden god. I am simply a man who wishes to use his power for good.
Whoa. Loki.
Get ready.
Healing power.
Okay. Destroy Loki's Yggdrasil tapping device.
The cosmos heals you.
Ooh. Alright. We finna win this.
Starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Quantum magic.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Healing power.
Those little spiders pack a punch. Be careful.
The cosmos heals you. That's the edge of fate. Onward to Yggdrasil. Our destiny souls unite. Quantum magic.
Just in time. Thanks.
Your legend has come to an end, Star.
Brother, this might be the day that I actually win the MVP.
The cosmos heals you. I require some aid. Quantum magic.
Resistance from the spider nest.
Leave them to consume.
We are undefeatable!
Onward to Yggdrasil. Our destiny is alone. Not vessels on a spider nest. Gross. Healing power. I feel better already.
It's party time!
The moon haunts you.
I don't care.
We are in this together. You need their power. The cosmos heals you. Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
Keep going!
I require some aid. Appreciate the move. Second chance is over.
Wish I could.
Quantum magic.
Almost there. Don't turn that out!
together. Vengeance is served. How refreshing.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
All right.
I am at your service. The cosmos heals you.
Cool.
Cosmic might returns. That feels better. Quantum magic.
Guys, am I a good healer? Is this what I was supposed to do?
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Stronger together. I require some aid. Healing power.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Onward to Yggdrasil. Our destiny awaits.
Yggdrasil.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Heals you.
Yeah.
An object of greatest of power. The enemy is here. I feel better already. Leave them to conquer. You are alone. Down, kid. You are safe now, my friend. Healing power. The moon! Healing power. Onward to Yggdrasil. Our destiny awaits.
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
We won't.
It's spider time!
Healing power. Your souls unite. Second chance is over.
So close. This is your big chance.
The cosmos heals.
Us against the world.
Quantum magic.
Just embrace the light.
Become vulnerable. Quantum magic. We are
Yes.
together.
Yo, I hope I won the. I hope I won the MVP. Give me MVP. Is it me? I never. Why am I never? What? Oh damn! Someone did more healing than me. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy work. Shit, I did bad. I did the worst out of everyone. Shit. That's cool. That's cool. Well, guys, if you're watching on Twitch, follow me on YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. All the links are down below. I appreciate you guys for watching and for just listening to me ramble. Again, I want to thank all you guys for just supporting all the videos and shit. It really means a lot, and it really makes me motivated to keep going and expect so much more from me. I know I let the channel die a little bit, but trust me, I'm coming out with a bunch of heat. But I just thank you guys. I just want to thank you guys so much. Like I said last Sunday send off, Sunday is not the end of the week or the end of fun. You can choose to have fun every single day. It don't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It don't matter when. Mondays aren't going to be shit just because you have to go back to work or school. You can just enjoy yourself anywhere you are. You feel me? and put one of my videos on. Let's get that algorithm going up, right? But anyway, I'll catch you guys later.